What's going on, everybody? So we have some more Clan Siege content to jump into. So today, or this next few days, we're up against the Sons of Darkness. Now, if we look at the member list, we have a 63 million player power member, 58, 56, 56. So some pretty big players. Let's look at the top person. Has Ninja and some other free, oh, not so free champions, but two of them are free. Let's look at where the mythicals come in. So we have an Embreeze. Oh, look, a common champion. Maybe they're hiding. Ah, okay. That's a pretty big player there. 56 million player power. Have some tough players in here for sure. I've played these guys a few times in Live Arena, I believe. Some of their members in different areas of their game. So they're strong players, strong accounts. Definitely could be a pretty interesting fight. Let's look at a few of their posts. Looks like post 3 has no defenses. Maybe it's bait. The KFC set up a very strong team. I'm not for sure what the options for post 3 were this time anyways, but this is a very strong team there. Full Mythicals, Galathier, Crixia, Nice, and Airbeus. We have post 2 with Ogren Tribe only. We have the Faction Unity, Gergo, Warmother. Maybe she has the Chrono Cube. Warmother with a Chrono Cube is kind of cool. And then we have Grazer. And then over here on the far right, we have a Tellarian League only. So Squatch Funkle taking both of the first initial posts. We have a Marichka, Armand's Galathier, and Taras team. So interesting defenses. Let's see how we handle those. But something I wanted to see real quick is Warmother. She's an interesting champion. And if I get Chrono Cube and I have enough resources to swap around the relics, which they're kind of expensive whenever you continually do that kind of stuff, I will definitely put it on her to try it out. Because basically, she will be able to do an AoE attack. Well, not that skill. This one. Attacks all enemies, places 2 bomb debuffs that detonate after 2 turns. Bomb damage increases against bosses. But she'll be able to do this AoE and then go into this skill. AoE attack instantly detonates all bomb debuffs if this champion's under increased attack, which she should be. So the Chrono Cube is going to give you a chance of getting an extra turn. So Warmother's in Chrono Cube. If you have a Chrono Cube and you just want to play around with it, throw it on her. See how it works. So Wearer has a 50% chance to take 2 turns in a row. If it activates, Wearer skips their next turn, which is fine. Extra chance boosts up to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Eventually, it's a 100% chance. Now, do I think Warmother's the best option to have the Chrono Cube on? No, not at all. I think champions like Queen of Hearts could be amazing. Other champions are much better, but I think the Chrono Cube for her is the best relic for her. Let's see how this Clan Siege goes over the next little bit of time, and I'll check back in as soon as we start making some progress, and I'm doing my first hits. All right, guys, so we are at the Stronghold now. We took down post 3 right here. Pretty tough fight. Post 7, pretty strong undead horde only defense there. Very strong. They had some nuke options. Very creative. Good job, Ollie. Post 11 here. We had no sheeps allowed. All champions are immune to sheep. Nice. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Post 15, we had Lizardmen only. It's always tough teams. This is a very good combination there. Probably the best one with those champions specifically. Defense towers, a lot of strong teams, a lot of good fights. GG's, everybody. Let's jump in here to the Stronghold. So we're going to go down here to this team right here. We're going to give it a shot. Willful Buckle. Hopefully this goes well. We're going to see. We had some theory crafting going on. We're going to throw in Marichka, Taras. I'm going to do Crixia plus Commodus. Basically, my thoughts with this is I rebuilt Crixia to be a lot faster than she was before. She's sitting at 419. Should be faster than their champions. They have no intimidating presence. I shouldn't have to be that fast. I actually don't have intimidating presence myself either. It's not really worth changing it. We should be fine. I really want to lock out Queen of Hearts. That's the most important thing. We do have a potential polymorph from Commodus, but it's the only one. And I do have 4 pieces of pinpoint. We have temporal chains. We should be good here. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. Speed ore in the correct spot. Let's go ahead and see. Taras, of course, going to be doing some counterattacks. Marichka blocking the bombs, all that kind of good stuff. So we should have some good combinations here. Temporal chains sometimes can come back to bite you, but we have this A3. That could have been pretty bad, actually, had they basically placed Enfeeble on Crixia. She could have just weak it, and it'd been actually terrible, to be honest. We're going to go ahead and kill the Marius. The Ancora can do stuff. Actually, just go ahead and swap forms and throw a bomb. She can only res 1 person at a time. So we're just going to throw that bomb, kill everybody. GG's to them. And now on to the next one. All right, guys, so we're going to give this one a shot here. I'm going to do something kind of interesting to see how this plays out. We're going to go Hegemon here. We're going to go, let's see, Hegi, Rotos, Siphi, and then Queen of Hearts. Now this, I'm hoping the Siegfried goes hard on the Rotos after the Hegemon activates everybody. We're going to see how it plays out. Of course, Queen of Hearts is here if the Herbaeus boosts. I'll play this guy in live arena some, so I kind of know what he does. Obviously, my Rotos is doing no aura whatsoever, but we're going to see if he targets the Rotos being in the lead spot. Maybe Hegemon just kills everybody. That would be great if he does. He didn't, which is fine, because Siegfried comes in and does an A1, actually, because he had block actives on him. Not the thing I was hoping for, but not the biggest deal either, because now we can just strip everything from everybody. Let's get a sleep placed on the Siegfried. Go ahead and kill the Siegfried, because he did get block damage. Yes, he did. And then we'll go ahead and do the A2. Nope, just kidding. No A2 on the Galathir. Not that's going to do anything to him. But I did not expect to get that block damage over there. The block damage on the Siegfried, not the block damage, the block actives kind of made things a little bit weird, but we just Hegemon nuked him down and GG's. So, stack team, there we go. On to the next one. All right, guys, so this is the last Stronghold team. I'm going to do some scouting matches. We're going to start this up. I want to see how much speed they have. Obviously, they have all polymorphs, but we're going to work through some of my attack scrolls as well as my defense scrolls. Okay, so he actually has no stone skin. That is quite valuable. And also my champion got sheeped very quickly. All right, well, that tells me a lot, actually. I may bring the Hegemon in here to see how he does. Well, I can actually only use him one more time, so never mind. Probably not going to do that. So there's no stone skin on the team whatsoever. We have three rebattles left. With that said, I could bring in the Hegi, have a similar plan as before, expect to nuke him down, the Siegfried do his hit, and that could work out very well. That could be the option, though Hegemon can only be used one more time, so I can't really test that out to see how much damage he could do. So we're going to try this one more time, because I want to see, instead of me using the A2 here, I want to see how their speed tune looks. We're just going to go, okay, so the Marichka is actually really fast. So is the Siphi. The Siegfried is pretty quick, it seems, as well. Reaction proc there, obviously no protection set, so just a fast Siphi. So something like Queen of Hearts could be great. And of course he comes in, smacks decent, not going to break stone skin necessarily. So not something I have to really worry about there. So lockout could be very powerful here as well. We're going to look at, okay, we have 2 more rebattle scrolls to use. All right, so we're going to jump in here and use this last 2 rebattles. What I want to know is my Crixia at 422 speed going to be able to go fast enough to actually get a turn on them? Though intimidating presence isn't the best way to test this. They also have no intimidating presence. This will skew things a little bit, I believe. Hopefully not significant, but yeah, I have some things that actually should fix this fine. So we're going to throw Crixia in here. We have 1 more scroll after this to test it out. Am I faster or am I slower? At 422, I actually am faster. Do they have any supersonic? They don't have any supersonic. So no supersonic, no protection. The Alaz goes first. There we go. And now let's do our actual hit this time. So we jump into the battle. The plan for this is going to be Marichka, Rotos, Crixia, and Siegfried. We're going to go recently used first. Marichka, Rotos, Siegfried, and Crixia. Now, let me make sure Crixia is built. Okay, good. Siegfried, let's make sure you're built. Good. Crixia, I think I already literally just checked her. Yes. Marichka, let's make sure she's built. And Rotos, of course he's built. Was literally just using him. So this should work out fine. I actually just put a Wand of Submission on Crixia as well. Is there any ways to boost her accuracy more? Whenever it's to debuff? No, because there is a legit concern that I could get polymorph with her. And if that's the case, then I have to be ready to maybe figure out something else past that point. But hopefully it's not the case. Hopefully we just land all of the lockouts and everything's smooth sailing from the... Whoa. I don't know how she cut in. But either way, let's go ahead and use this A3. We lock them out. It's all good to go there. Both those champions are very weak versus lockout. I'm going to try to kill the sick. No, I can't really do that. He's just going to proc his skill. He's going to kill the Rotos. That's what I was concerned with. I can go ahead and do the A2. Let's do this. I think is the best play here. Yeah, kills a lot of champions. She reses everybody. I can reset the cooldowns, or I could place block buffs. Either one, actually. Either one's gonna be fine. Let's place block buffs on everybody, so nothing else weird can happen. We're just gonna do a single target hit here, because I want to make sure that if that Siegfried gets a turn, actually I want to make sure he does get a turn. And I want to make, oh crap, that's not what I wanted. That's not at all what I wanted. No. All right, well, he's back again, unfortunately. We'll use the A2. We're going to be cycling through my stuff pretty quickly here. I can reset cooldowns, but it's not really going to do anything if I did that, honestly. Right now, it's just basically trying to get their block damage to go away. I mean, he can switch forms. That could be potentially kind of scary. Definitely could be. I really need this Marichka to go down. Of course, Siegfried's going down there. Not at all what I'm looking for. This is definitely taking a little bit of a turn in the wrong direction, to say the least. Marichka needs to die here, basically. The Siegfried was hard focused on my Rotos, unfortunately. I can lock them all out. So if they can just kill my Marichka, that'd be perfect. There's a small chance I could possibly kill one of their champs. This is going to be a while, though, unfortunately. Okay. He is going to get some damage through. Not to the right champion, though, unfortunately. We'll place this up. Okay, good. Dang it. We have Aspect of Siroth. That didn't quite work out the way I was hoping it would. So I will try to boost some turn meters here. So maybe she gets a turn. Good. I want to heal up some, because I want him to be able to kill the Crixia. Or not kill the Crixia. I wanted to kill Marichka before killing Crixia, ideally. Oh no. This is not at all the direction I wanted this to take. Things are spiraling at a rapid pace. Oh, there we go. And they're dead. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my gosh. GG's to the KFC. You got me, dude. The scouting failed me. All right, well, that sucks. We'll see how the next person deals with it. So the next person went on to take that team, no problem. I want to review that fight as well, but while we're doing that, I want to look at the other two fights that I did and review these. This one was pretty simple. The first one, I think it was pretty easy. I think it was played out fine. We had Communists doing the bombs. There's nothing really too sketchy happen here. We stripped with Crixia. Everything was okay. We placed the bombs. There's no block, debuffs, nothing like that. And it was pretty smooth and simple. Now, this next fight, Siege 2, there was a situation that could have gotten a little bit weird. We had Rotos here. He was in the front position. I already mentioned this during the video. To have the Siegfried use the AI and target Rotos. Rotos wouldn't die because of Aspect of Siroth. And then he could pop off and hopefully kill the enemy team. Well, the Hegemon, when he went in, he actually placed block active skills on that Siegfried, which is the worst thing you really want to do against a enemy Siegfried when I want him to use the A2 or the A3 skill. Thankfully, it worked out fine. Everything was okay. But this could have been a very similar situation. I'm actually wearing the, almost same shirt as last time. Either way, this could have been a very similar situation to that last fight where the Siegfried is just A1ing my Rotos down, and then we're in a tough situation, basically. But this ends up being fine. Thankfully, we're able to use the ally attack from Queen of Hearts and kill the enemy Galathir. But the next fight is where things went very bad. So now let's take a look at the Siege fail video. There's a lot to learn from here, and there was a big mistake that I made at the very beginning, and that was after doing the scouting matches to see what the enemy had going on, I didn't actually change my original plan. This was my original plan going in. The reason why that was a mistake is because after seeing what they had, I know they have no protection. So bombs are going to be decent if I could strip them from a Nishak placing them. Nishak can place. I can strip the block damage from the Marichka with like a Fabian or something. That could have worked out great. I could have brought in Queen of Hearts after the Siphi boosts. I even mentioned that in one of the fights. Oh, Queen of Hearts will be good here, but I didn't even actually bring her. And I could have brought just a different approach. Fabian would have been amazing here. Much better than Crixia, actually, because he could have used the Fear and, well, the Lockout and the Strip, which mainly just the Lockout. But since there's no Lightning Cage, over here, everything was going to get stripped and I would get an extra turn, and then I could petrify and then True Fear on everybody. Now, I may not get the True Fear to actually do anything because Siphi can cleanse that, but it's still something I could have done, and I actually should have done. Crixia here was actually somewhat problematic because my plan, my strategy, was to have the Siegfried attack the Rotos with the A2 or the A3, and then Rotos proc his extra turn, and then start dropping some of the enemy champions. That's not at all what happens when you have Crixia on the team. So you can see whenever I actually get into this fight, we'll fast forward it just a little bit. Yeah, actually, we're not going to fast forward it. So I get into the fight. What happens is we are not faster than them. The reason why I wasn't is because I used Airbeus with Intimidating Presence, and this setup, I did not have Intimidating Presence, so I was not faster. The same speed aura, or basically the same speed aura from Marichka, but no Intimidating Presence, which makes a big difference. But I did know that my Crixia has 6-star Temporal Chains, so I was guaranteed to cut in, which I do cut in right here. And then I use the A3. Nothing's protected. I use the A3. I strip everything from everybody, and then we have an ally attack from the Siegfried, which actually didn't even register. It shows ally attack. Oh, no, sorry. I thought it showed a counterattack. Either way. So we have the Crixia use her A3 skill, and then the Marichka uses the A1 on the Rotos and has the Siegfried join in. Right here is where the first mistake was made. So the Siegfried joins in. You can see right there, Rotos' turn meter gets fully depleted. But since Siegfried is not doing 50% of my Rotos' max HP, we didn't take an extra turn. I was too busy talking and didn't notice that Aspect of Seeroth activated. I didn't get an extra turn, so it was on cooldown. Well, now my Marichka gets a turn. If I would have realized that Seeroth activated, I would have been, okay, well, let's go for the A2 ability. We'll heal up the Rotos, we'll have a shield, we'll be okay. Or I could have used Marichka's A1 on literally anybody besides the Siegfried. The Siegfried was the only bad option, the only truly bad option. But that's what I decided to go with. I really have no clue why I did, other than the fact that I thought Rotos still had his Aspect of Seeroth going, and that doing this would actually cause the Siegfried to use his A2 or his A3, which, remember, we're both on cooldown because of the Crixia. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning doing this, so maybe I can chalk it up to lack of sleep. My Siegfried goes in, procs the enemy Siegfried block damage, which was the plan from the beginning. I wanted the block damage to happen so my Rotos could do some stuff, but then Siegfried comes in, we have Ward of the Fallen, no Seeroth, just 1 stack of Ward of the Fallen. Each hit is coming in for 20,000 damage, basically. Not enough Ward of the Fallen stacks. I do get an extra turn that time, so the first time he just got just lucky enough that it did not proc any extra turns. I guess it was that second hit that actually procced him, but now my Siegfried's turn. So looking at this, I decide, I believe, to use the A2 skill here, which is actually okay. This is fine. This is not a mistake here, at least not that I can even tell now, but the A2 is going to give me turn meter boost. They're all going to die. And then basically I get back around to use another skill. Now at this point, I could switch forms, but not really going to do anything. The A2 will place block buffs, which could be useful against the Alaz. That's what I go with. Now here is where I make the next mistake that cost me the fight. Honestly, this was multiple big mistakes that I have no clue why I made it. I probably just need to slow down and stop talking in the video. But if I would have attacked the Siegfried, the other champions are locked out. This Siegfried could have done something bad, but I decide to attack the Siphi. Now, this isn't necessarily an immediate horrible play, but it is a bad play when the Alaz decides to attack my Siegfried, because when he attacks him, he procs counterattack. Now, you may be thinking, well, that's a Force Affinity champion, and it is, but that Force Affinity champion takes 2 massive crits from my Siegfried and dies, making their Siegfried switch forms. So, unfortunately, this now becomes, okay, the only true option that I would have is to possibly just leave Crixia in that first form, let her get around to that strip, see if we can do that. But that's not even a great option, to be honest, because I'm going to have no damage dealers in just a few moments. When that Siegfried dies, I'm left with no damage dealers. So we have him come in. He's doing some work on my Crixia. They eventually kill my Siegfried because I can't do anything through the block damage, so he's just a sitting duck, basically. So then what happens here is the Alaz uses his A2 ability, which kills both my champions, which is great for him. But upon the res, Marichka uses her A1, and of all the champions to join in, if it would have been an Alaz, no problem. It's going to the Rotos. He would have killed the Rotos. Nothing else would have happened. If it would have been the Siphi, Rotos would have been asleep. No problem. But it was the enemy Siegfried who was able to one-shot all of my champions because I had no more protection on anybody. If it was literally any other champion, that would have been a fine fight. So the mistakes I made was, number one, I didn't heal up with Marichka. Actually, the original first mistake was using Crixia to begin with. Should have used Fabian, Queen of Hearts, somebody like that. The mistake after that was Marichka not healing, using her A1 instead, and then Siegfried attacking the Siphi, risking the Alaz when I could have hit the Siegfried, guaranteed to not kill him, and then the Siphi could have only used her A1. Yeah, it could have possibly been a different outcome still, but getting that Siegfried to swap forms and do the res was just so unfortunate. There's a lot of potential RNG that could change things up, but ultimately, besides the RNG, that was only there because I made mistakes in the beginning. But basically now I know, hey, those are the mistakes I need to fix. Those are some things I can change, which is fine. But man, after doing that fight, I was definitely kicking myself. Like, how did that happen? Even was debating about posting this video, but I'm like, you know what? People are probably interested in seeing that. It's pretty funny. It was pretty dumb. It was just completely overlooking some stuff. Got too carried away talking. Either way, that was what happened there. A more in-depth breakdown than what you probably needed, but maybe you've been in similar situations. And things like that do matter. The potential for Siegfried to counterattack on the Alaz wasn't something I took into consideration, but it's something I should have considered, definitely. Kill the Siphi, no problem, but probably shouldn't have done that. I knew that Siegfried could swap forms in res. I was just pretty confident that I would not kill the Alaz. But either way, here we are. I guess I could have actually even used the A1 on the Alaz and then, probably not killed the Siphi anyways, but got the Alaz out of the question. It could have been a good play. Either way, guys, let's get back to the video to see how the clan siege results. All right, guys, the siege results are in. Let's go check them out. We did get the siege victory here. This was a interesting siege anyways, though, because to be honest, it wasn't really a competition. Sons of Darkness had a different plan, and basically they were just taking this kind of chill, which is what you have happen a lot of times in these in-game clan sieges. It's more of a strategic approach. So if the matchup is maybe a little bit skewed, or maybe the opponent's matchmaking is getting too high, they'll just tank some fights. So dropping their matchmaking for future fights to be a little bit easier. So that's basically what we had happen here. So the losses that I had didn't really matter at all, to be honest. But let's go check out what kind of siege rewards we have. We got 12 Lamassu fragments, which puts me one clan siege victory away from collecting Lamassu. We have 96. Why, Plarium, did you make this the way it is? Or, I don't know, why is it? Because that's a little bit annoying. Either way, we're going to get Lamassu very soon. It just kind of feels bad being 4 away. Maybe they give me some in the shop as an offer. Either way, let's go check out what kind of quad rolls we have today. So we have some attack percentage boots. Let's roll these up. Speed, speed, speed. Okay, no speed for me. Speed on the resistance chestplate. Quad roll onto speed. Nope, we got 1 roll. Give me 2 rolls, please, for a triple. And not a triple, but I'll take the double. Attack percentage gloves, basically useless unless it's a quad roll or even a triple in the defense. Maybe it gets a rework. Probably not. This is kind of just a funky piece of gear, to be honest. We're going to get rid of that. The defense, or of course the defense shield. The shield, always going to have defense. The crit rate roll, speed, HP percentage with flat HP. This could be really good, or it could be just mediocre. So far, it's actually pretty good. This could be like a good, nice piece. This could be a nice piece for nice, somebody might say. Not for me, though, because I don't have him. So right now, it's just going to be a piece chilling. Maybe for a different HP-based nuker in the future, but none at the moment. This piece, looking for some good rolls. I don't know. There's really no great way to roll this. There's no, it's just kind of a weird piece, honestly. Probably just gonna get rid of that. Some resistance here. Let's see, maybe really looking for the mythical rolls to get like a triple, ideally, which would essentially be a quad roll. These pieces just aren't rolling very good. Resistance with, it's just not, doesn't really make a ton of sense. This is probably going to go resistance because why not? Yeah, okay. Double roll crit damage, which is essentially a triple roll crit damage with a double roll resistance. Why does the resistance have to be there to ruin all good damage dealer builds? Why does it have to be this way? So we're going to sell basically most of these pieces, to be honest. This is an okay piece. We didn't even roll this one yet. I will roll that. This will be kept for the possibility of it being decent. The attack percentage boots, let's just send them. If it was to go speed, maybe it gets kept. Attack percentage, I mean, it has speed on. Let's see what goes to 16. If it goes speed roll here, maybe it's a potential piece. No, it's just not great. It's a lot of attack percentage, not a lot of speed. This for a bomber could be interesting, but I got a lot of interesting pieces, and I need some really good ones to really be worth keeping. So we're going to get rid of that one. Maybe could have been justified to keep, but either way, this, man, let's get a triple here. Maybe I rework it. Nope, no triple. All right, so this could be okay support piece. The resistance one, if it rolls like all good support stats, yeah, I'll keep that for a support champion. Like this, maybe I put it on my Lady Noelle. I'm not for sure. This piece, though, it has no speed on it. It just feels so bad when you have sets like this with no speed. So we're going to pitch that one as well. The pieces we have now, we have a Feral Ogren Tribe ring. Very cool. We have a Feral Demon Spawn ring, defense percentage. Feral defense ring as well. I really want some good banners. Feral and Orcs. We're looking for another crit damage necklace or a ring for Sacred Order. That'd be ideal. Dwarves. We have Skinwalker's piece here. Skinwalkers is one of my strong factions, so I like to have some good stuff here. It's always good. Undead Horde. Looking for some speed rolls on these banners. I typically don't roll the accessories immediately. There's no real reason to. This is okay. I'm going to keep it either way. I'm not going to sell any of the accessories because there's really no reason to. Unfortunately, haven't. Oh wait, no. This could be decent if it goes attack, right? Banner Lords. Okay, you almost got me. It opened up to Banner Lords. Yeah, because like, how did I get a crit damage necklace for this and not actually notice it? Yeah, it's because I didn't actually get a crit damage for that. I would have noticed it. These could be reworked, but this is just a solid piece. The two defense pieces, maybe I YOLO rework these into. Oh no, I already have attack one. Never mind. Attack percentage would be great for him to push it up a little bit higher, but so far, the Sigmund build is pretty daggone solid. But there we go, guys. That is our Clan Siege currently. It was a good fight. It was fun battles. I did my fights in the Stronghold. It was really all there was to it. We didn't unlock any mana shrines, nothing like that. It was just basically to the Stronghold, and that was really all there was. There was a few extra hits, but really it was just more of a strategic fight, and we go on to the next one. So we'll see how the next Clan Siege goes. Hopefully I don't make a horrible, ridiculous mistake like I did in that fight versus the KFC. That, unfortunately, will probably haunt me for a while. It wasn't that big of a deal because, like I said, the fights against this clan wasn't that big of a deal. Like I wasn't having all the pressure on me. It wasn't up to me to make sure we win. And if I lost all three of my attack scrolls, it would have been fine as well. But I like to get the wins, and looking back on the video at least shows me, hey, you got to pay attention to when Aspect of Searoth procs, when it doesn't, when your Rotos is about to die, and how you go about navigating Crixia with Rotos, because if I'm locking out the enemy Siegfried, he can only do the A1. If I used Fabian, though, I could have done the A3 into the A2, knowing that team had no protection, they had no supersonic, they had no lightning cages. I could have easily used Fabian, wouldn't have had to worry about being sheeped. It would have been a far different, well, not until I used the A2, it would have been a far different outcome, basically. Either way, guys, we'll see, hopefully, different results for my fights next week. Previous week fights were great. I don't think I lost any of those, but either way, thank you for watching. If you like the Siege content, let me know down below. And guys, I will catch you all in the next one.